Se você deseja consultoria de qualidade, vem para o time Music.
Salute wellness.
Now we get down to the nitty gritty, okay?
Here we are.
So we have a new Arnold Classic champion, someone you predicted to win it. And
Why did I predict it? How many times we talk about this? You said, I say conditioning is not enough to win the contest. So conditioning is not enough. You should have to consider everything else. And I mean, Jay, I always use you as an example. So sorry, but I'm going to use you again. I'm a static guy. Yes, I like shape, symmetry, proportion, balance, and all that stuff. But how many times I said 2009, you smoked Dexter Jackson, who is dramatically more symmetrical and aesthetic. And I'm the first one to say, you deserve it. You earn it. Okay? And I'm losing it too. Okay. I lost my left.
I lost everything, so.
Huh?
We have no audio. No, we keep talking.
Okay.
Is it okay? Or?
Yeah, okay, now it's coming back. Don't move. Don't breathe. Okay. So, many times you won the show because you were the most complete bodybuilder on stage. So going into the show, we were all playing for our strengths. Nick Walker had to go for the conditioning. He is a freaky, muscular guy, and he's going to overwhelm with the conditioning. And I knew that. I said that many times. We're not going to beat Nick on conditioning, but we're going to beat him on a combination of proportion, symmetry, size, fullness, dryness. I mean, when you compare, was Samson the driest one, leanest one? No, but it was most complete. I text you right now. If he doesn't win, it would be a travesty.
You know what's funny is we talk about judging, and I can say this, and I'm going to be just 100%
Blunt.
I believe the judging has never been better.
Yes.
In the last two. I mean, as I can remember, I'm going to talk about the Olympia. When Hadi won to this show, I mean, it is just seems to be spot on. Do you agree?
100%. Well, okay. If I'm a judge, I could still see the argument for Andrew maybe being second.
Okay,
maybe.
But I'm going to talk about this.
Yeah, we're going to talk about, like Matt says, Nick could be the first or third. But
I don't agree. I think any one of those top three guys
could have won.
Yeah. I don't think we would have argued if Nick or Andrew, and I'll be honest, I mean, I sat and watched, we watched the footage last night on the plane ride home, and I watched the first call out, and that's what's different about videos versus being there, okay? Yes. Looking at the video, I said, Andrew wins this. If I was at home, Andrew jacked, and my experience, and hence why I'm not a judge, I saw Andrew jacked as a clear winner by the first call out, meaning the first, before they moved them around.
Yeah.
Obviously finished third.
Based on symmetry and conditioning.
Symmetry, detail. Is he not as big? Yes. Do I feel I hate to use the word slender or I'm just going to throw this word out there, which has zero, like skinny. Let's just say I've heard.
I had people say that.
Okay, but
you look skinny.
But I'm looking at. Is this live right now?
No, I can put it on. You want me to put it on?
You know what I feel Andrew lost? Andrew lost that wow factor when he stood there, unless he's just next to more dominant people.
Well. Yeah, more dominant people. When he was in Texas and when he was in other shows he
stood next to less people, right?
And he was overwhelming, and you can't touch that. But here, yes, and this is a perfect example. If you just don't play the video, just put this picture. Right now, this picture, shows a lot.
It tells a story.
It tells a story, right? So,
I mean, looking at this picture, bro, Samson wins this, right?
Hands down, considering everything that should go into aspect of judging. You beat Phil Heath and you beat Dexter and all that on an overwhelming width and size and volume.
Agreed.
And they keep telling me, hey, it's not classic, it's open bodybuilding. It's not classic. Okay. So just because Andrew and Samson look classic bodybuilders, right? Beautiful shapes. And so that's not open. No. It's muscle building or bodybuilding. This is still bodybuilding. But here, direct comparison of Andrew and Samson. Samson had that thickness. I mean, look at the legs. Look at just overall, muscle development. I love Andrew's shape, and this is why I say there's many poses that maybe Andrew can overtake Samson because of the detail that you said, the sharpness. They brought crazy conditioning, but because they went for conditioning, I said that before, he'll probably sacrifice some size and that wow factor. Especially standing next to Samson, I knew he's going to expose him there. And, when we're going to, I want everybody to pay attention when we run the video. It's one thing is when you just go pose by pose, freeze and look at it and judge it. And the other thing is when you see everything else in between. So moving around, that's when you don't pose, then you kind of relax. That's when you can see true size, true thickness. And that's where I think Samson really attracted attention over Andrew, that he was way more muscular. And as far as Nick Walker, let's talk. Nick would be in category of you go for your strengths and you were winning the shows, and Nick can go for his strengths and win the shows. Crazy conditioning, yes, but I think he sacrificed a little bit too much from Olympia and lost the size in the legs. And that now created even more disbalance from upper body, lower body, and exposed his waist to quad ratio. So
by looking at this image that we're looking at right now, is this live on the screen, Matt?
Yeah, that should be.
I can see where Nick, he definitely, the legs, just unless it's just, hey, this might be the Nick Walker that we saw at the Olympia, but we just looking at two guys that obviously, he didn't stand on this stage in front of,
So here, there is no argument, and this is when I keep talking about symmetry around, symmetry, shape, right? And I might say, maybe judges are listening also, maybe what Bob Ciccarello says, everything is considered. I said, put the number on it so we know that it's considered, but maybe now they didn't have to, but maybe they consider a little bit more, okay, let's judge this and put in consideration. And this is a slam dunk for me. I think that Samson here is dominant. I love Andrew's shape, but because of the size, open bodybuilding. It
looks like Andrew's hunched forward instead of a little bit right.
Yeah, because he's crunching the abs, and he didn't open up. That was me and Chris Cormier. I would show my abs, he would open up and create more V-taper. But that's your choice, right? Okay. Here. You want to stop? Okay. So, looking at the Samson is looking at Lee Haney from double biceps. This is how I see it. You just, again, shut the lights and look at the silhouette, V-taper, X-frame. I love, of course, Andrew Jack.
See, I think Andrew beats him here.
Possibly. I have no argument.
My opinion.
I have no argument on what? On crazy detail of the abs and pretty good arms.
The biceps.
But legs are a little bit light, okay? A little bit light.
You know what it is, though? His legs look light because he's got Rami to the side of him.
No,
he's the biggest legs ever. But his legs aren't much smaller than Samson's, a little bit.
It is. He creates illusion that sometimes is comparable. I watched that. He creates illusion that you can compare it, but when you really see what I was saying, when you move around, you can see the volume.
That's what I was telling Jay. In person, you can
in person is different. Yes. Yeah. Look.
Talk about Nick.
Yeah, Nick is crazy upper body front double biceps, but especially here he elongates his upper body and do
you like it better when he crunches down or no?
I would do the Lee Priest thing and pull the posing trunks a little bit higher to create that illusion. Right, upper body is too long and short legs. He lost a little bit of volume in the quads, and he could not afford that. He could not afford it because that was making him, more impressive. Arms, biceps is like, you can only hope for anybody. He looks great, but that's why I'm saying it's not slam dunk victory and he just lost. He just, you have to place him for a second, third, and I could see him lose this pose. Okay, can you rewind a little bit? And I know I'm going to be pain in the ass, but I'm going to, okay, so now, pay attention to their stomachs as they're going into the pose. Okay, here, a little bit more, and then, you see? Judges see that, okay? Judges see that. Yeah. And I was actually thinking in this front lat spread that Andrew's going to dominate because I've seen him many times. But by losing that size a little bit, look, he didn't open completely. Lats are not out completely. And Samson, here now, abs are not that much difference. Yes, Andrew has a deeper abs, for sure, but lighter in the legs. Hey, for me, Samson wins this pose. Again, that's not a good Nick's pose. That's one of the... He did it okay, but we all know front lat spread is not Nick's pose. Now, let's just talk for a second with the Rami. When they came out, Rami was in the middle, and you weren't there. The first comparison, right away, Rami and Samson was in his position. They move him. They replace him. So they didn't give Rami even one pose chance to be maybe there. They immediately said, okay, seeing what they saw, that 1 minute pose, and they determined, okay, it's between these three. Mm-hmm. So they put Rami on the side. Was Rami better than Olympia? Especially Saturday, I think he was. Here, so. I mean, there's not enough detail, and there is not enough beauty comparing to the guys next to him, right? So for me, here, and let's talk about Sean Clarita. Most compact guy, crazy condition, everything is beautiful, but it's narrow. So, I think the judges showed him clearly that to stay in your division and dominate, equals. Don't try to be somebody that's twice your size. So
what do you think, Jay?
I'm agreeing with what he's saying. I mean, listen, Andrew. I think Andrew definitely, I don't know, because he's not as round as Samson, might have a little more detail in certain body parts. But Nick's just this isn't the best overall version of Nick. I think Nick's condition is great, but I believe what Milos says. His legs, the volume of the legs, and it kind of highlights the length of the torso here, which can hurt him. Now, listen, Clarita, I know he's not really in this discussion that we've had with the top four, but I mean, listen, I give credit what credit's due, and we'll talk about him after, but, I don't want to disregard that this guy's standing on the end because, he holds his own with obviously balance. But Rami, for sure, I believe this was a better version than the Olympia, but it just goes to show how improved. These guys are just coming, man.
Samson and Andrew made so many improvements.
They're just. I mean, look at you had Samson and Rami back to back at the Olympia, where this was he distanced himself here from Rami in comparisons. Yeah. But let's give credit where credit's due. Rami was for sure improved, right?
Yes.
The back looked better.
I think Rami, Samson, and Andrew all improved.
But looking at this pose, guys, Rami. He just doesn't look as detailed. Yeah. To me, it just looks a little, something's off. Yeah. You know what I mean? Compared to better genetically gifted.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Another thing that you can see, everything Samson does on the stage is to perfection. Stage presence is of the chart. Confidence. Look at that. Boom. Okay. Confidence. Not arrogance. Not trying to pretend to be, let's, I got that. No. It's hit the pose and show. So here it is.
This is a tough one because Nick and Rami have really, really good
side chest. Well, Rami is flattered through the chest and arms are not that good. Look. You can see here now. He has the lower body crazy, hamstring glutes, quad bursting. But look, overall thickness, you can see here Samson and Andrew, there is no contest. There is no contest. And Nick and
I don't know.
Samson is real contest.
I think Nick could win this shot. That's my opinion about it.
Many people, but look at it. Focus on the chest. It's called side chest. Side chest. Focus on the chest and tell me that Nick can beat.
It's still close,
from head to toe. I see what Jay's saying. Nick, that's a great shot for Nick.
It's a good shot, a great shot. But where does he really beat him? Okay, tell me. Where does he beat him? Which body part?
I mean, Samson's obviously bigger dude.
It's a bigger dude and more aesthetic. Even in this, judge aesthetics in a side chest. Okay, then you can go into the size, fullness, thickness, and detail. Yes, Nick is great, and many people, including Fuad, so Samson's guy, said like, okay, Nick got him on a side pose. He said, Fuad, okay.
I mean, you can make
look
you
at
can
the
make,
show.
yeah.
Huh?
You
can make the argument, and
You
listen,
can't argue with someone up. It's that.
That's
like,
a tough.
It's not
that's-
like he's running away with it. This is where Andrew might have sacrificed.
Yes.
Yeah.
It looks like I remember I said before. It seems like he pulls his. It makes him look.
No, he's
more
just
narrow.
he's turning a little bit, and it's just making him a little thinned out from standing next to these freaks. You know.
Yeah, I mean hamstring thickness here is
He's
apparent.
just- yeah.
Yeah. First thing that stop there. Stop. Shit.
You love that pose, don't you?
Yeah, I make him do every time. He often forgets, but it's like, how can you not do this pose? Do the how did you look at that? How good does it get? I mean, look at this pose. If this doesn't freak you out, going from the side to the back, I mean, this is punch at the top of the side chest. Okay, look at not just when they're moving. Look at the size, detail. Okay. Now this is Nick's pose that we all know that he's just freaky in a backdoor biceps pose. And if judges just go with Nick, I have no problem. Okay. Aesthetically, boom, step there, step there. Okay. Aesthetically, Samson is just beautiful, right? But they're gonna say Nick is a little bit harder. Okay.
I'd give
more
that pose,
massive.
I would give that pose to Nick still.
Yeah, I would too. I have no problem.
He's just got the density.
I know, so
Rami
it's-
looks good there too, though.
Yeah, so let me ask you a question. Okay. Looking at this, okay, we knew Samson. We talked about his back still needed to improve. Improved. What's the focus between now and the fall?
back.
Back.
You know, of course, anybody is going to advise me, don't bring more size. You don't need more size. You need more size always, right? Size is not going to hurt you in all the right places. His waist is smaller than that of the Olympia. I mean, this is, you know, how they always accuse me, point finger, oh, yeah, insulin. We did insulin 3 days a week, all the way through, okay, before and after training. So what the hell? And that's not it. But, you know, overall, to win Mr. Olympia, you're going to have to take it away, okay? And Hadi got a little bit bigger, and Hadi's going to still, you know, with that formula. You see, there is conditioning alone. Hadi last year was better than, 2021 was better than 2022, right?
Yeah.
We all said that.
I think that's because I stood backstage for so long, too. That's my
But
opinion.
it doesn't matter. We don't consider this. We consider what do we see on the stage. And I know that Hani Ramba was told, you know, get him a little bit bigger. And you can sacrifice a little bit conditioning for that fullness and appearance of a bigger, thicker, wider. Okay, so this is how it is. For me as a coach now, right, I got the first place across the board against the third guy in the world, right? And Andrew Jack, there is up-and-comer that can win Mr. Olympia, right? And former 2 times Mr. Olympia.
And the reigning 212
Yeah,
Mr. Olympia on the same
so
stage.
it is. I think that Samson's look is appreciated very much, and he's going to be a top contender for the Olympia. Of
course.
What kind of improvements? Yeah, can we get? Maybe he didn't. Fuad is always on his case for this backdoor biceps doesn't open completely. You know, maybe he can do a little bit more. I love it. It's just okay if you lose it. He's going to probably lose that pose to the Derek Lansford. You know, and
I think everybody loses to Derek Lunsford in that pose.
and so be it. I mean, hamstring glutes, they will always say, oh, hamstring glutes, you need tighter, drier. This is tight and dry. He just doesn't have a striated glutes. And what Andrew Jack was going for, okay, drier and leaner, and you lose that pop. And
Good combination.
It's not worth it.
Yeah, it's a good
This is, for me, most definitely spot on. And
Nick's
right there.
arms in that rear double, huh?
It's crazy.
It's
I mean,
crazy.
everything. Even his leg look
Yeah,
humongous.
the cords, his hamstrings. I mean,
Yeah, that looks
that's
crazy.
Nick's improved a lot, man, the last couple of years. A
Look,
lot.
Okay,
Even his lat spreads improved a lot, Nick Walker.
It is. I'm going to give him that. And here, when you cannot see the differential upper body, lower body, you see, Now his upper body is not lengthy because the opposing strength is up. So now his legs don't look short, and they look huge. So here is balanced and wider Nick Walker. And what I want to say is I met Nick's mom, Tracy, and dad, Lou. They were on my case.
Great
like, why, great people. Why you talk about it? And I just have my opinion. So Nick Walker can win Olympia by all means. You're playing your card. You know, you're not gonna over aesthetic anybody, but you're gonna overpower them. And for me, he needs to go for that. You know, you're a freak, you're a mutant.
Be a freak.
Be a freak. Be a mutant. Yeah. I mean, you're always conditioned. You know, so that's a danger. Are they going to judge him with previous conditioning if he shows up a little bit fuller and less conditioned? Oh, you were more conditioned. So that's that enigma. I know that Samson has a crazy, crazy hamstring, right? Great calves, everything else. Here on this picture and in video, can possibly Nick overtake him? What I said last time, I don't like his wide stance and everything else, but it's effective. He looks freaky. I got to give it to him. So if he gets there, maybe. Upper body is very comparable. I mean, the shoulders are thicker on Samson. But he can go either way. If you go with a Nick again, I'll give it to you. But this is not slam dunk victory. No. It's so obvious.
This is a super competitive shot.
Super competitive shot, yeah. And I love Andrew. He's still, you said that he has a striated glutes. You've seen the pictures and all that stuff. Yeah. It's still not striated. And the hamstring is not so detailed. You know, so I think he would still lose to Nick and Samson. And Rami is Rami, but you see, there's not enough detail. Yeah. And there's not striation on the glutes like he was for the Olympia. On Olympia, he was very confident.
I would probably give this shot to Nick. Very, very, very close, though. Like him and Samson, then probably Andrew in third, and then probably Clarita, and then Rami.
Yeah, Clarita actually looks much wider than I thought.
Yeah.
You know,
I know. It just, I think, I don't know. Just from the head to the toe, I would give this to Nick, but I'm not a judge, so don't listen to me.
You're not.
I don't want to be a judge. I'll let you be the judge.
I'm a bias coach. Okay, just
These
look
transitions matter too, though.
Where were you sitting for this, Milos?
I was in your seat.
Okay.
So you know exactly. Right there. Boom. Okay.
Did he had my seat for real?
For prejudging, yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Because you weren't there.
You said you're not coming.
So you weren't coming there, so I just told Milo, so come sit up here.
Yeah, shit. You know.
No, actually, Milo said, "Hey, can my friend sit up?" And I said, "No, you can."
Yeah.
So I brought Milos up there.
Yeah, first because I didn't know where I was sitting.
Yeah.
By the time I came there, like I can't see anything from that spot. You know, especially if I'm going to commentate and I'm going to do all that stuff. How can I, looking at the screen, and make the judgment?
Those screens were actually really good.
It was pretty good, but you know, it's
everyone looks good on the screen, though, right?
You know, you can stay home and watch on the screen if that's what you want. I wanted to see live. So here, this pose. So they say Nick wins this pose.
A lot of detail on Nick, bro.
It's a lot of detail, but first let's look at
Clarita too.
Yeah, but look at Clarita's chest, okay? And look at Samson's chest.
He hits, you know, Samson does a shot a lot like I did it.
Yeah, because
I couldn't pull that shoulder back.
He was doing that. I was trying to tell him this, and he said, "Oh, I mean, I should have long arms." I said, "Do the Jay Cutler, raise the shoulder."
You raise it makes the tricep look bigger. You know, you push the so you push the tricep against the lat because your lats are so big, and there you got it. But
that's what Jim Mannion did. You know, did you see Jim Mannion's picture?
Yeah,
in,
crazy. He's better than you.
Yeah,
he would have beat you at the
Niagara
Falls.
I said, Jim, goddamn. He says, it's all in the angles. I said, why didn't you show me those angles? You know, goddamn.
Look how big Rami is, guys. Look at his leg from the side, big Rami.
Leg from the side, yes.
But unbelievable, right?
Okay, now cover the legs. Look at the
I
upper
know.
body.
But look at the leg.
I think that...
Look at the leg, Milos.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, come on.
Is
that the biggest side leg ever?
It has to be.
Yeah, it has to be.
I mean, come on. Look at him, and then put your eyes back to Clarita. Yeah. I mean, dude.
Clarita's pretty good, but
look at how big Ron
So
is.
here is where Andrew Jack can see that from the side his legs look lengthy. right?
I think that was the.
That's the thing.
He just hit the.
Okay.
If we'd get it there, you could see the legs.
But you see, Samson just going into the pose at any moment you can freeze.
Listen, man, if
look
Rami's
at that.
Rami's pec and his midsection was trimmed down here, this would be the most incredible side tricep of all time. Look at the tricep.
Flat chest. Look at that.
I know.
You gotta see it. Look at the Samson fullness of the chest,
course,
and look
yeah.
at the big Rami.
I know.
And we're talking about
I can
you know,
see
big components.
I can see.
Okay. And for me, again, nobody's giving side triceps to Samson. And again, it's his bias coach. Says, are you guys blind? I mean,
He's got the full
I
pecs.
huh?
He's got the full pecs.
Yeah, he does.
Full pecs, aesthetics, shape, size, thickness. What else do you want? Look, everything is happening in element. He will squeeze the glutes. You can see the details. You know, I think this is a super strong pose for Samson, and he beat Nick. In my opinion, some people would give it to Nick. Okay, you know, on the Freak Factor, you guys want to just you know, judge it that way. Okay, I don't think so. Okay.
You know, for a guy, though, that was criticized to have such a wide waist, Nick Walker, he sure as hell can hide this in a lot of poses, you know?
But here, abs. He didn't do abs as good as he could. I've seen.
Yeah, I know we've seen better, right?
Much better, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's
I agree.
some kind of.
This is a really bad position for his ab shot.
ab, legs, everything.
The legs locked out like that,
yeah,
and
yeah.
just not enough, like.
Yeah. Andrew's abs shows over. You know, this, you know, probably the best.
Look at that picture of Arnold
Yeah,
right there.
upper body. I mean, he's probably aiming there for look at Samson here, okay? For Andrew.
Most muscular.
Most muscular. Boom. Again, many people.
Andrew's got a lot of detail in this shot. I mean, with but
Yeah,
not
but
the thickness of.
Not
Samson.
thickness. Look at the legs.
Yeah.
You know, look at, still for me, Samson wins this again. It's most muscular pose, but aesthetic part of a most muscular, goes to Samson. Yeah. I just have a little bit more weight now behind saying this, because otherwise I would be biased coach. Now, all the judges saw the same way, and there was like no question. He won by perfect score.
Para mais vídeos assim, deixe o seu like e se inscreva no canal. VINI Wizard, o bodybuilding traduzido de graça para você.